I don't even have the intro timed out right. You notice that?
No, I don't.
I do not have the intro timed out right at all. We were trying to Wayne's World all over this, and we done messed up a Aaron, did we not there, Jack?
Does this qualify as that?
I'm not certain.
I don't think so.
I'm not certain. But we are here. Welcome to Vanishing Gates, folks. I'm your intrepid host into the strange and the unexplained, joined by...
The absent-minded Jack.
The absent-minded Jack. He's always going to have one. Folks of you who are not watching the live stream, who are listening on the podcast format, you're not going to understand the picture of what I'm holding up right now. This awesome shirt. I know. I'm going to give some shout-outs here for the first part of this show.
In the middle of my shirt.
Are you ever going to find the shirt?
It's not.
We got this shirt from these people at
Look,
Bigfoot Days, and they were phenomenal folks, and they were
in
cool.
my car right now.
Well,
I could go get it.
all right, go throw it on while I do the quick
No,
intro.
I don't want to
quick.
do that because I just put my headset down, and there is an absorbent
Amount of ants. The studio is...
Something has taken place.
Is this how you want to get ants? Because that's how you get ants. No, there are so many ants in the studio. Now, I've put down so much ant killer in the studio in the last 2 weeks. They didn't do crap. Finally got a nice rainstorm here in Humboldt County, and the ants went berserk, and they have invaded. It's a nightmare. It's like the fruit flies. Now, where I live, I'm growing plum trees and hops in my backyard, and lots of vegetables. I got pumpkins growing in the front yard. The fruit flies, out of their damn mind. It's insane. But the ants in the studio, of all places, I feel like I'm being cursed by vermin.
It's German.
The vermin.
The vermin.
The vermin. Anyway, so this awesome shirt that I'm wearing, folks, comes from the awesome people at Supernatural Shack. Check them out on Etsy, on Facebook, everywhere. Now, the shirt is a runaway Sasquatch carrying a keg over his head.
Over here, people.
And it says, "Bigfoot stole my beer." If Bigfoot wants to get in a fight, it's a real good way to do it, Bigfoot. But this shirt was awesome. We got it at Bigfoot Days that we were just recently at. It was cool. He has one too, Jack here, and he's not wearing it, which is very sad.
I didn't agree to wear anything.
I specifically washed this shirt for this show quite frequently, just to wear it since I got it a couple weeks ago.
I think it's in my car.
You're not great at advertisements.
No. Advertisement.
So another thing I want to do. Do you have anything you want to talk about yet before we do this? Because we're getting into the moose knuckles and bones of this podcast.
I feel like the Call of Duty beta is amazing.
Yeah, because that's what we're going into. That's actually a good seg. So I've been playing and streaming the beta of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and
I love it.
it's a thing.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It's finally showing the PC gamers that console gamers can actually kick their ass when you're tied up together.
Well,
Word.
I feel like the problem with PC gamers is that
They're houty, and they think they know everything, and they have hats.
because
Which
they
is
have
funny. See,
computers like me.
Now, I played Counter-Strike ad nauseum for a long time. I was a Counter-Strike moderator for a very specific gamer group back in the day.
In chat, Dave, the reason we're so close is we want you to be like closer to us.
Yeah. We want you closer,
So we can
Dave.
touch you.
Dave, you're so far away. Our Canadian Dave.
Yes.
Folks in chat. If you're not, or folks at home. Dave in chat. So I do want to give a shout out, though, because we're talking about the live streaming. I've been doing a lot more live streaming. So if you go to Mixer, you can check out, I'm part of that MXCP group. Shout out. We've talked about it quite a bit. But my gamer tag is Moo Juice Magic. There's a J and a K at the end. So figure that one out. Well, a J in the middle, a K at the end. It's not spelled right. So if you want to follow me on Mixer, follow me there. But also, check out one of our friends of the show. She's been pushing this show, pushing the gamer stream everywhere. If you're going to Mixer, check out The Angry Cherry, just like it sounds. And give her some love, give her some shout-outs. Tell her Vanishing Gate says that she's the bomb diggity. She's really cool. I want to give some love there.
I haven't been live streaming for shit.
No, you haven't, but we have. The
Here's
rest
the thing.
of us. Including our tech guy,
I
Nick.
would live stream but I have not been playing any shooters recently. So I have turned from someone who was doing really good in the past to someone who is absolute garbage.
What have you been playing? Sudoku?
I play basketball and football games mostly nowadays.
Glad that didn't break.
And then, let's see, football, basketball, RPG games, things like that. And then other than that, I'm mostly just focusing on school these days.
Yeah, because you're in school for welding, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
I'm digging that.
Awesome. This shirt is huge on me. I'm just going to, just pull it together because I'm fat.
You know, it's funny that you say that because we talked about Sober October, and I set myself a goal for the end of October. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit 200 pounds end of October. So I'm going to cut out like garbage food, no alcohol, no cigars. So all of October is going to be eating healthy, exercising more, all that. And I bought a scale. I haven't stepped on a scale in 2 years. Stepped on a scale. My goal is 200 pounds, and I'm at 200 pounds. So I don't know that I should go any smaller than this.
If I set a goal to lose weight, I wouldn't make it. Because I would just be like, fuck this. I've done it in the past.
Made the goal.
I was fine with going to the gym and doing everything when I had someone to go with me. And currently my girlfriend's attempting to sign up and go with me. But the problem is that I really fucking don't want to have to get up at 6 a.m. to go to the goddamn gym. I just don't want to do it. But
Well, do you have a guest pass for the gym or what?
no, it's like $15. No, it's not fucking.
Well, I was
going to
say, if you're going to Planet Fatness, I would go with you, and I'd be your homeboy there.
Okay,
We'd go work out together.
in chat, no, the Packers aren't going to put up 30 on my Broncos. In fact, they're probably going to put up 50 because Joe Flacco is a trash fucking quarterback, and the defense is going to tire out within 30 minutes. And that is exactly what's going to happen because a trash quarterback will always tire out the goddamn defense.
Okay, so those of you who are listening to the podcast and not watching the live stream, we can actually see people in chat. So if you're not watching the live stream, a good way to do that is follow us on Facebook. Go to Vanishing Gates on Facebook.
Gates on Facebook, yes.
Like, follow, and share, and subscribe.
Yes,
do
do
that.
this.
And you can watch these wonderful live streams. You go to prompt when we go live. Turn on your notifications, too, so you can see us. These beautiful, beautiful faces. Well, one of them.
It's been fucking terrible having to deal with football this year already. I haven't watched it.
I don't watch
I haven't
football
watched
anymore.
football in like 2 years because when my team won, we obviously cheated. It was obvious.
You stopped watching football when we were doing that event for the beer company we worked for, and I was hosting it at the bar, and your team lost to my team before the
That's not what I
first
stopped
part
watching.
of the first quarter.
I stopped watching after we won the Super Bowl.
I stopped watching when it was dumb, and it happened hard and
okay.
fast. Sorry, guys. I'd rather play football than watch it.
No, I mean, yeah.
Same with hockey or baseball. I don't want to watch sports. I want to be involved in sports, unless it's fighting, and then I'd rather watch it because I'm too old to fight.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the thing that fucking bothers me about it is I had to look at our mother and be like, hey.
The thing that bothered
I know
me was I
your
looked at my
team-
mother. Okay.
I know your team is undefeated and thrashing everybody, but my team is currently losing to the Raiders and the Bears, which I can't even hold my head up for half a second for, because nobody in their right mind should lose to 3 teams, and that is the Raiders, the Bears, and the Lions.
The Bears.
And I'm just saying no one should lose to any of those teams.
Bro,
If by the end of the year you've lost to one of those
hates you.
teams,
How did
you
this?
have
How did we
like
go
some
into
shame
football
all
talk?
over your
I
face.
already offered you and Paco. I would produce your football sports talk show on a different thing. This is supposed
Paco's
to be
not here
Vanishing
anymore, is
Gates.
he?
Damn it!
Paco's not here anymore.
He's out and about somewhere. We could probably call him up at some point. Good
But
lord.
now I have to deal with a true crime, which is an old quarterback known as John fucking Elway, a piece of shit quarterback.
Why?
Who is
are we doing this?
No, it's true crime, okay? Because he got into a place of power in my football team's organization, and he's too pathetic to find.
All
a
right.
new
So if I get
quarterback.
John Elway on this show to comment on your commentary, how's that going to work out for you? I hear he believes in aliens.
Oh hell no! Please leave a link of this to your political page in chat. Please do that at your school because they will love us by the end of the day.
No, don't do that. I would suggest a Ben Shapiro link. That would probably teach somebody something.
Yeah, that'd be
Anyhow,
fun. They'd learn
that
something.
said, or the Paranormal Patriot. Shout out. You know what, Damien? In chat, share the Paranormal Patriots page. Tom Velasquez has one of the greatest shows between paranormal and politics there is out there. It's also one of the fastest growing paranormal shows. out here in the verse of things with stuff. Yeah.
John Elway's a shitty.
So
shitty
can
GM.
we stop with all that?
And he's got a good quarterback.
Wait, John Elway's a GM now?
John Elway is the president of the Broncos organization, and
Really?
he will never let a new quarterback step into the shoes of a good quarterback.
It sounds like a people
That's
eating
why we lost
people
Brock
eating
Osweiler,
people.
because Brock Osweiler was going to be a good quarterback, and then he decided instead.
All right,
let's
off
use
to the next
3,000-year-old
topic, 'cause we're done
fucking
with this
Peyton
crap.
Manning, who's a piece of shit.
Good Lord. Can we not?
Sorry,
Sorry, folks. Jack went on a little tangent.
Peyton Manning's a piece of shit. He's a shitty quarterback.
So, here's what's coming up in the. We're coming into October. The season of miracles, as I like to call it. Right?
Is it?
The season of miracles. It's coming into October, Halloween season.
Yes, Rip Tebow. In chat.
I swear to God, if you Tebow on this show, I'm gonna face punch you.
I-
Don't.
Are we going in October?
Yes, we're coming into October. The season of miracles. I said.
You can kind of feel it in the air. All these miracles.
You
are
can.
happening.
All the miracles happening everywhere. All over. Miracles are miracling all over Jack's face right now. As we go into the next part of the
Apparently on my
topic.
shirt too.
I thought that was mustard.
I
But
don't
all right.
know what it is.
Anyway,
It's just there.
so tonight's show, last week we did a show about levity, having fun, joking around. And tonight's show is going to be very similar. But we won't get to that yet. I want to talk about what's coming up for the month of October, the next few shows. We're going to start getting creepier and more into the paranormal, crazy, scary stuff. So we're going to do a show on La Llorona. La Llorona?
La Llorona.
La Llorona. Thank you, that
La
one.
Llorona.
Oh, look, you can do it. I can't. Sorry, I'm Irish. And we're going to do stuff
Literally
on
your brother.
crazy stuff.
What the fuck does that change anything?
I
Oh,
don't
you're
know.
Irish. I'm just Spanish. It's just not changing.
You work in fast food?
It was just,
I
it
have
was just
no
a grand
idea.
fucking
No, what's
scheme
up?
of the universe made
So,
you
and
Irish
then,
and me Spanish.
One of our friends, again, I'll mention it again, the Angry Cherry, if you go to Mixer and watch her game, she suggested a show about dreams and what they mean. So we'll do a show about that because she has a really creepy dream encounter
Who?
we're going to talk about. The Angry Cherry. Tara. She's watching.
Oh, okay.
One of our homies that watches the show. And, you know, we do have a following of people that actually, well, it's not a following. They support us because we're gimpy. They're much like crutches on our bad decisions.
I don't know.
They take care of us because no one else wants to. Sad face. So we'll do some creepier stuff as we go into October, but tonight we're going to have another show of levity.
What's the levity of this show?
We are going to talk about Cocaine Bear.
Pablo Escobear?
Pablo Escobear.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. So this comes from KY for KY.com. And I'm not normally so involved in a story that makes me laugh so hard that I email someone and ask for permission to use their content. But I actually emailed them and said, hey, you know, I can't tell a story without doing it the way the author wrote. It's by Cole Larkin from August 19th of 2015. And it's from KY for KY.com. So Kentucky for Kentucky.com. So it's a Kentucky Fun Mall. It's the whole backstory behind this is great too. But I want to get to Cocaine Bear. Now, I did ask for permission. I was granted permission to read the story verbatim. And that's what we're going to do because I didn't want to rob anything from this author. The way it was written made me laugh so hard. I might have peed just a little bit.
That doesn't sound good.
Do you want to read it there, Jack? Do you want to take your hand at reading this? Do you want to try to sight read in front of a live studio audience? It's not in the
I
studio.
have before, but I don't feel like it today.
All right.
The cocaine bear from the Bluegrass Conspiracy is getting wild.
As he starts.
It's getting wild at the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall. You probably already know the story, the one about drug smuggling Kentucky blue blood Andrew Thornton II that's been turned into books like the Bluegrass Conspiracy and TV shows and everything else. But if you don't know, or if you don't, here's the gist of it. The gist. It's a great word, that.
The gist.
Andrew is one of those polo club Sayre School.
Mm-hmm.
Stud farm kids back in the 60s. What the fuck? He was probably always up to no good and ended up in a military academy?
Yep.
Well, that's usually where you learn how to do drug smuggling. Then the
Whoa!
army.
Hold on.
What? What?
Your commentary, you have to say, is not part of the story.
That is not
We will
part
be
of the story.
interjecting, but
That is me being a smartass.
yeah,
It's also
don't
a joke.
interject so much.
We have military in our family. This is a joke.
You don't have to interject. The story is fun enough
This is true
itself.
enough. This is true enough. Then the Army. After he'd had enough of that, he became, of all things, a Lexington narcotics cop. How weird is that? Polo playing drug cop.
Okay, I do want to take an aside here, and you guys can't see it. I will link the page to the Facebook page here. So if you're not watching and you're listening to the podcast, go to Vanishing Gates on Facebook.com and check it out. We're going to link this article so you guys can read it for yourselves. But just picture this guy. He looks like Charles Bronson. He has a 70s porn star mustache and everything, except now he looks like someone smashed his kitten. He looks so sad. All right. We'll
Yeah, I
continue.
don't know what's going on there. No,
A
what's
polo
happening there.
playing drug cop.
Yep. A few years later, in 1977, he was a practicing Lexington lawyer. Presumably, Thornton used his stint on the right side of the law to build a network of shady connections across the globe, because the one person you can trust is a lawyer or a narcotics cop to begin to help you set up
All of them.
You know, just how do you approach that exactly? In 1981, he was accused of stealing weapons from a California naval base and conspiring to smuggle a half ton of pot into the U.S.
A half ton of pot?
Hold on, I'm more
I have neighbors that have that
confused.
in their garage.
How does one, like...
This is in 1981, though. It's a different time.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
At a naval base in
Just trying
California?
to steal weapons from a naval base.
It could have been Centerville
nothing.
Naval Base. There's nobody there.
Just probably. He pled not guilty and was arrested as a fugitive in North Carolina, wearing a bulletproof vest and packing a pistol.
Hold on. This guy's
As
a
you
threat.
do.
He wore a bulletproof vest. Son of a bitch. Didn't want to get shot in a drive-by. Who the hell does that? Sorry. I went to a dark place.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
Anyway.
actually, at this point. What, is there, like, a stigma about bulletproof vests these days?
Yeah.
What's the fucking stigma about not wanting to get fucking popped?
I
I just want you to know, when my kids go to
there's a
school,
big,
they're going to wear
there's a big
bulletproof,
movement
like,
to stop
juggernaut
people from
suit.
wearing bulletproof vests.
And when I have kids that go to school, they're going to wear a bulletproof juggernaut suit.
Did you know that
And pack a
Old
minigun.
Dirty Bastard actually got arrested for wearing a bulletproof vest? It was a probation violation of all things.
That's fantastic, ODB.
Yeah, and he's dead anyway, so who cares?
There we go.
Come, continue.
He somehow managed to get these felony charges dropped and got off with a small fine, 6 months in prison, and a suspended law license.
A suspended law license.
Suspended. Well, because everybody's corrupt anyway. So they're like, well, if we get it for this, we're gonna have to get ourselves for something worse. As soon as he was released, Thornton was back at it, not even again. What is this?
At it. He's back at
Just
it.
at him. In 1985, while on a coke smuggling run from Colombia, how do they know this specifically? That's the question.
Dude, there
And
was
after
research.
dropping packages off in northern Georgia, Thornton jumped from his plane, got tangled in his parachute, and fell to his death. His body ended up in some guy's yard in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I like how
As you
thorough
do.
this is. Some guys here. This is why I love this article.
Hold on, they know he was on a coke smuggling run, but
Some
they don't even know the
guy's
guy's
yard.
yard in Tennessee. They're just like, well, we know these details, but this guy in
See,
fucking
we should
Tennessee,
have. We should have.
Steve, his name is.
We should have gone more into the Kentucky for Kentucky history of why this became a thing.
fucking Kentucky.
And that would make more sense. No, the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall. This is what this is about. These two guys tried to change Kentucky's, I think, the logo to or slogan to badass or kick ass or something. It was pretty awesome.
As you do.
As one does.
When they found him, he was wearing night vision goggles, another bulletproof vest, and Gucci loafers. The outfit of drug smuggling badasses everywhere. He also had $4,500 in cash, as we do, some knives, and 2 pistols, as you do. That's a complete outfit.
You don't need to add you do. Just read the story. It works itself.
Wow, that's nice. Thank
Continue.
you. No, just fucking
Read the
judge
next line.
me.
Read the next line.
Why
You're
do you have
judged.
night vision
Judged.
goggles on?
First of all, in the 80s, you know how expensive those were?
Night vision goggles? So you were just like, well, this is the fucking eyewear of everyone.
Well, he was jumping
Maybe
out of
that's
a
why the
fucking
dumbass
plane.
fucking died. He was flying
He
a
was
plane with night
parachuting
vision
with a
fucking
bunch
goggles
of
on.
cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Cocaine?
And he had a duffel bag filled with about 75 pounds of cocaine at the time. That was $15 million worth.
$1 million.
I'm just going to
That
tell you right
might
now,
be
I would
why.
also be sad that I lost 75 pounds of cocaine even today.
Oh,
I'd
he
be
wouldn't be
sad
sad
if I
because he
had it.
done did died.
Here's where things get super weird, and where Kentucky for Kentucky gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
3 months after Thornton's bizarre death, a dead black bear was found in Georgia's Chattahoochee National
Chattahoochee.
Forest. It had apparently overdosed on cocaine dropped by Thornton. Here's how the story appeared in the New York Times. In the New York Times, the most trusted of all news sources, really. Cocaine and a dead bear. Blue Ridge, Georgia, December 22nd, UPI.
How are you getting an accent all of a sudden?
I have no idea. A 175-pound black bear apparently died of an overdose of cocaine after discovering a batch of the drug. of the drug. Yeah, okay.
It's
cool.
not even an accent.
Just a batch of the drug. Just a fucking quick batch of it. That's what 75 pounds is to these people. It's just that's what the New York Times is. That's a batch to the New York Times. Is 75 pounds of
Do you
cocaine.
want me to finish this, or are you gonna?
No, I got this.
All right.
I'm just commenting on that point. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation said today the cocaine was apparently dropped from a plane piloted by Andrew Thornton, a convicted drug smuggler who died September 11th in Knoxville, Tennessee. Because he was carrying too heavy a load while parachuting, not shocked, the Bureau said the bear was found Friday in northern Georgia among 40 open plastic containers with traces of cocaine.
Just traces. 40 containers with traces of cocaine.
40 fucking open containers, everybody. That's a lot of the old booger sugar, even for a bear. Can you imagine? 1 minute he's trying to find enough berries to survive another boring day in the Chattahoochee. The next minute he's ripping fat rails off of Colombian disco dust off tree stumps and water skiing in jeeps with Alan Jackson, forcing all other bears to listen to Huey Lewis and the news before chopping their heads off with an axe. Okie dokie.
You're not getting the reference? All right, never mind.
We needed to know more about this kick-ass bear, and our curiosity paid off in a big, big way. First things first, we contacted Georgia Bureau of Investigation mentioned in the Times blurb. Not surprisingly, the legend of the cocaine bear was still fresh in the minds of everyone who worked there, and they were able to put us in touch with the retired medical examiner who performed the bear's necropsy, an autopsy for an animal.
That's in, yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
what it
necropsy is an
It's
autopsy for animals.
That's what I just said.
Well,
He
I know
said
because
it-
you read it, and you seemed very confused. I was trying to help you.
I was making sure I didn't read it wrong.
Oh, no, you're fine.
He said it wasn't common for him to examine animals, but from time to time, animals were involved with criminal investigations, and he was required to treat them the same as deceased humans. Nevertheless, the cocaine bear, Pablo Eskobear, the cocaine bear stood out to him as a
Spoilers.
particularly strange incident. Its stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine. Is there hold on, okay? Animals in the wild know not to eat like certain things.
No,
right?
dude.
So
First
this
of
bear
all,
was just like fucking like nope, just gonna go with it.
This poor bastard was looking for berries, and he got something that was like, okay. So from the people I've talked to who've done cocaine, all they want to do is more cocaine when they do cocaine. That's the high they get.
Nice.
It's like, how do you feel? I want more cocaine.
Can we just talk about the fact that we know someone when they opened that fucking gut, like took packs of cocaine out of a bear's gut.
I wonder if there's like a black market.
Someone did that.
I wonder if
There
there's like
is
a really
cocaine.
high-end bear gut cocaine.
There is
stuff
a
in-
high-end
like an
bear
aged
gut.
high-end bear gut.
It's somewhere
cocaine.
out there. Can someone find the cocaine that was in Pablo Escobar?
Okay, first of all, if you guys have a way to show us that it's much like a fine wine or a good stout. You
Yes.
age the cocaine in bear gut long enough.
Perhaps it gets new
More
chemicals.
potent?
and
Does it have a
becomes
better
stronger.
flavor profile? Well,
It assumes
I
its
sniffed
final
this,
form.
and it went from Febreze to, I don't know what you'd go from Febreze to. I don't know what cocaine smells like.
I have no idea, but
What's
I'm
the next step up? Rose petals?
potpourri.
And-
Maybe.
I mean, maybe it starts as
fucking
farts
know.
and becomes like,
It becomes clean grass air.
yeah, mountain air.
It becomes mountain air.
And so
It's airy with a
I'm just
a
waiting for like
potent
Bed
sniff
Bath
of-
and Beyond to sell a candle that smells like aged cocaine bear innards, which is
aged
potpourri.
cocaine bear.
all right. Continue.
Aged in the
You're
stomach
reading the
of,
story
a,
there,
of
fella.
a bear with cocaine. There isn't a mammal on the planet that could survive that. Yeah, no fucking shit. Cerebral hemorrhaging, respiratory failure, hypothermia, renal failure, heart failure, and a fucking stroke. That bear deserved a fucking gold medal for all the things it somehow lived through at the
You're
same
supposed to read
goddamn
the
time.
story and then comment later.
You name it, that bear had it.
There you go. It's much like
AIDS.
our tech guy. I don't know if the bear had AIDS.
Despite all that, the examiner said the bear's body remained in good cosmetic shape. Such good shape that he thought it would be a shame to just have it cremated. He contacted a honey buddy who did taxidermy.
Hunting buddy, not honey buddy.
Hunting
The hell's
buddy
a
is what
honey
I
buddy?
said.
Hashtag honey bunny.
I said hunting buddy.
Honey buddy. Good lord.
Had it stuffed and then gifted it to the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area, where it was displayed in the visitor center behind a plaque without mention of its party animal past.
Much like people don't realize that Van Wilder
That's
was
why we have
based
Twitter,
on
though,
Bert
so we know about
Kirshner,
it.
Apparently.
Who?
Bert Kirshner?
I don't
The
know.
Machine?
Oh, really?
That's what I'm told. It's probably not true, Dave, in chat. You son of a bitch.
Wow,
I
you
feel
just
like
left the page. Oh, it's 'cause
No, I moved over here a little bit. But hold on. I scroll over.
this is a great conversation.
I look at chat suddenly and I see cock is overrated. You know what?
Thank you in chat. I don't know.
Love you in chat. That's totally not what we were talking about. I think he meant Coke.
I'm pretty sure you meant Coke, but we'll just roll with it, man. I mean, does he mean Coke the substance or Coke like the
No, he didn't say Coke. He spelled C-O-C-K.
That's no.
Kentucky for Kentucky is going to get a hold of me and be like, dude, erase this fucking episode. We'll sue you. We gave you permission, but we didn't know how terrible you fucking were. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Killing me, Smalls.
Anyways.
All right, back to the thing.
Coke is also used in the creation of steel. But it's not cocaine, it's refined coal.
Okay, no one cares.
Yeah, now you all learned something today.
Welding nerd.
I just forced you to learn something. Congratulations. So we called them too, and things just kept getting weirder. Okay. Apparently, in the early 90s, the threat of an approaching wildfire prompted park employees to evacuate the area's facilities. They took the few artifacts they had, including the cocaine bear, and put it in temporary storage in a nearby town called Dalton. A month later, it was gone. Some of the stuff, some arrowheads, and old Native American blankets was recovered?
Yeah, I just
Fuck
read
it. Was recovered
Just-
from a
Recovered?
Nashville. Shut the fuck up.
read it,
Nashville
shut up.
pawn shop, but Coke Bear never turned up. It had already been sold to, get this, country legend Wailing Jennings.
Waylon.
No one fucking cares.
God,
Not even Wailing Jennings.
do you want me to finish this because you're having a hard time?
Now, according to court documents, the pawn shop owner told everybody that he didn't know anything about the bear's weird history. Fuck you. He said that to him, it was just a stuffed bear like any other. You know, normal. But Jennings, who is apparently a huge collector of taxidermy and American oddities and all that, and who maintains relationships with pawn shops and antique dealers across the nation, told police that this particular pawn shop owner, a guy he'd done business with in the past and fucking narked on, called him as soon as the bear came in and relayed the whole coke-fueled story of Andrew Thornton in great detail. Narc. Jennings said he had no idea the thing was stolen, narc, and wouldn't have bought it if he had. But if the rightful owners wanted it back, they'd have a long trip ahead of them. Coke Bear had gone to Vegas. Here's how that went down. When the pawn shop owner called Jennings and told him the whole Andrew Thornton adventure, he must have known Jennings would be interested. Honestly, yeah, who fucking wouldn't? He already knew all about it. He'd heard tale of Thornton long before the news of his strange death. And he'd heard it from their mutual friend, none other than Kentucky Prince turned Vegas hustler Ron Thompson. I don't know who this is. Thompson left Kentucky and went to Vegas, where he established himself as a host with the most, making sure the people that mattered had a swell time while their bank accounts evaporated. Nice. He became good friends with a lot of them, people like Waylon Jennings, who provided the entertainment and people like Andrew Thornton, who provided Sin City's drug of choice. Nice. We couldn't find out for sure if Jennings knew Thornton personally, but he definitely knew what he was about. So when Jennings had a chance to nab the infamous cocaine bear, he took it, thinking it would make the perfect inside gift joke for his buddy Ron Thompson. And that's how Coke Bear went to live in Nevada. Or in the Nevada desert, in a Kentucky-fied mansion for a while. We found out...
What's up with the accent?
Fuck off. We found out that when Thompson died in 2009...
It's white appropriation.
Much of his estate was
You're
sold
too white
at
for that.
auction. It was kind of a long shot, but it was worth a try. We called the auction house and asked if they still had the manifest. They did. We asked if they would send it to us. They did. Is that how that works?
Pretty
That's
much.
fucking convenient. And there it was, 26th on the list, right after a lot of custom suits for a very stocky man. Well, that stocky man probably read this, and now he feels bad about himself.
He's talking about the guy. Are you serious? You don't know what's going on right now?
One taxidermy North American black bear. Holy shit.
In the article, not your comment.
Yes, that's in the article. Don't you worry. Don't you fucking worry. In a couple more awkward phone calls, we were able to track down the buyer. Zhu Tang, a Chinese immigrant living in Reno.
Okay, you can fucking say Zutang, but you can't fucking say anything else in this article.
Shut up. Had purchased the bear uncontested for the opening bid of $200 from Nellis Auction House. Nice.
Noise.
Also, I haven't said anything wrong thus far.
You've mispronounced about a billion things, but all right, hold on. In chat.
Shit.
Oh, Damien in chat. You're always a gem.
Unfortunately, Mr. Tang had passed away. However, we spoke to his wife, Poo Tang.
No.
Learned that he'd been
Bad.
using the bear
No.
as
That's
decoration
not the
in
name of the
traditional
wife.
Chinese medicine shop.
Mrs. Tang.
When he died in 2012, she sold the business but saved the bear, even though she never really liked it. That's nice. He was always bringing home junk from auctions, estates, and sales, and things like that. She said the bear was one of his favorite things. He just loved it for some reason. All the coke in it. At first, he wanted to keep it in our living
And
room.
there's no coke
Easy
left.
sniff. But I wouldn't have it. It scared me. I made him take it to the store. Fucking Poo-Tang. We asked if she knew anything about the bear's history.
She's probably
She
still
said
alive.
She didn't. She said she just figured it was a regular old bear that had been amateurishly, wow, fuck you too, taxidermied on an account of visible scarring on his abdomen. Okay, listen, all right, that's just rude.
Do you say that about people who had C-sections? Like,
Yeah, does she just
I
go
had a
around
baby,
like,
I produced
that
it,
was
like,
an amateur
this
birthing.
doctor was a shitbag. He cut my gut open. Now it looks like shit. Like, what the fuck?
Wow, just look at that girl over there with her scar. She's a terrible birthing person. She did terrible.
Well, I would be more upset about the doctor.
Bitch. Anyways,
I mean, have you ever seen, like, any of those really weird boobs that, like, the plastic surgeons do wrong? Where you can see the visible scar?
yeah,
Ugh.
I don't go around staring at them, so it doesn't make me twitch too much.
Well, I don't stare at them. I just notice them. I'm like, ugh. There's some really good ones. Hey, I'm not against boob surgery. If you want to edge your boobs up, go for it. All for it.
Boobs are good for you. Anyway,
Even if you're a dude, there's a guy that won tons of money on that bet. Go for it. If it makes you happy, do it. Just make sure you have a good surgeon. This guy was not a good taxidermist.
And
Same
that's
thing,
when
right?
we knew we'd found the legendary Coke Bear. Those telltale scars on its stomach were from its post-mortem examination at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation 30 years ago.
Right.
Earlier.
Why are you talking like you're a robot?
I don't know. I'm really tired, so I'm just kind of doing shit now. We told Miss Poo-Tang the whole
Miss
crazy
Tang!
story.
Mrs. Tang! It's not Miss Poo Tang, it's Mrs. Tang.
I think it doesn't matter really. at
It
this
does
point.
matter. She's still a living human being who could probably sue us. And please don't, Miss
Good
Tang.
point. The whole crazy story about Andrew Thornton II and his Gucci loafers. Yes, those were the most important
Those
parts.
fucking Gucci loafers.
About Waylon Jennings and Ron Thompson and our now 2-month-long quest to find her late husband's beloved bear. She said she almost didn't believe us, but if we'd gone through that much trouble, we could have the damn thing just to get it out of her sight. All we had to do was pay for shipping. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop by the Fun Mall and meet our new mascot, OG the Cocaine Bear. He's been caged up for way too long, and he's ready to get wild.
I seriously need the shirt that's on this page. Folks can't see it because I'm not going to pull it up, but go to kyforky.com, blogs, journal / cocaine bear, and check it out. They were cool enough to let us do the entire article. Like, normally I wouldn't do that. As weird as this entire story is, this is awesome. I'm going to link it to the page on Vanishing Gates, and I really want that cocaine bear shirt. And he's been deemed Pablo Eskobear, as you said earlier, by other people in other media. But the way that was written was phenomenal. Not that you could tell when Jack's reading it, but it was still a really good article. And yeah. So how's that?
I like how that all ended with Miss Tang. Like,
You
she's
just
just like, you
can't.
can just fucking have it.
You just can't fucking like get over this, can you?
I can always get over things, but
The Tang thing, you're like, no, there's too many connotations I could just throw in there and be funny with. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, guys, if you're checking out Mixer, and welcome to, what's that stupid radio station people listen to?
NPR.
NPR. Welcome to NPR. We're going to talk about global heating for a minute
Global.
because
Can we
I
talk
left
about?
my oven on for
Can we
2
talk?
hours
Can we
today.
talk about global cooling as well?
Yeah, because
While
CO2
it's
is a
heating up.
coolant. If you have any kind of scientific education, you know that CO2 does not heat the atmosphere.
Also, you'd know that literally no city on Earth can produce as much CO2 as a volcano that
And
goes off
also,
constantly.
If you get rid of all carbon use by 2030, literally millions of people will die of starvation and death
because plants won't be able to eat.
fossil fuels
be
actually
fantastic.
help people survive, and we're actually part of this entire
I don't even,
thing in the
I don't
world.
even care about
I
that.
don't know how stupid
but-
people are. Are you fucking serious?
But hold on.
Good God.
But the Earth
I'm not
literally-
trying to get political, but give me a
literally
fucking
eats
break.
CO2. I don't know
Listening
what to
to
say.
fucking a bunch of 16-year-olds talk about how my parents did this and that. Fucking bitch, I grew up in the fucking 80s and early 90s being told I was going to be dead by 1995. Fucking didn't happen. Pixar didn't happen. Why are we still here?
I literally
Al
told
Gore,
someone that we,
enjoy
like,
that jet flight while you talk about global warming, because
I got a
suddenly you're
conversation
relevant
today
again.
about that shit. And I
For
was like,
16-year-olds.
It's not real.
You fucking
I'm
cunt.
like, it's a fad, kind of like Jenko jeans. It's just a
Look,
fucking
take
fad.
care of the environment around you. It's a simple thing. Like,
Yeah,
take
don't be
care
a
of your.
cunt.
Don't be an asshole. Don't litter everywhere. Fucking the problem's solved.
That's
But
it,
these
that's-
kids, these are children
the
being
majority of it.
educated in the schools. My parents are gonna die of old age, and I'm gonna die of global warming. No, you're fucking not. You're gonna die of vaping too much. You're gonna vape a fucking Tide Pod and die, you 12-year-old twat. Fuck off.
Okay, I'm confused why
Sorry,
you're
I
shouting
just
so
got
much.
angry. Sorry.
I don't know why
I
you're
was-
so angry about this.
Sorry.
I'm
It's a
confused.
bad, dark place.
Listen, I'm just confused. What does it matter?
It doesn't matter
It's
because we're
literally gonna mean
actually
nothing.
all going to die regardless.
It doesn't matter.
That chick that's talking about global warming today, like the 16-year-old, she's probably going to die when her boyfriend beats her to death because she found out,
Well, that just
she
got
found out she's
dark.
pregnant.
That just got dark really
Simple
fast.
and easy.
Look how dark that got.
Yeah, dark.
Welcome
fast.
to Vanishing Gates, where we go down paths that we didn't even know we
The
would go
rabbit
down.
trail is darker
The rabbit
than
trail.
it looks.
Listen, okay.
Fall into the rabbit hole
Listen,
with this.
Okay. First off, there's nothing humans can do, even on a global scale, that would make a fucking difference.
Well, we do have nukes.
No. I mean, the fact of the matter is, the radiation that the Earth itself puts off is more than we can put off. The radiation that
Dude,
comes out of when
hold on.
Krakatoa went off, it produced more than 3,000 nukes of radiation on top of carbon monoxide.
Okay, listen,
It
man.
literally did more
Dude,
damage
We have gone
quote,
so
unquote,
off the place of
than
funny
we could
and right into
never,
dark, evil,
ever
kind of
even
aspects of
imagine.
it.
I am confused here.
Here's the thing. I'm so tired of being told that I'm a nut and that I'm fucking unable to speak because I'm white or I have red hair. I'm fucking over
Well,
it. I'm,
the
I'm-
red hair
we're-
thing-
The precipice has been breached. I have little kids telling me that I can't have an opinion,
You
and
do
I'm
have red hair.
fucking done with that. I do have red hair.
Yes, and
I proudly have red hair.
You shouldn't. I
Red
mean,
hair and eyes that change color, and what?
We should keep things with, souls. Should be.
I have soul. I can play bass and drums. Listen, guys. Humans didn't kill the dinosaurs.
What happened to the cocaine bear? It's
Or
in a
did
mall,
they?
bro.
It's
Like I
it's
said,
in the
it's
Kentucky
It's
Fun
in
Mall.
Kentucky Fun Mall.
What's wrong with you?
You
In chat.
didn't listen.
In chat.
Didn't even
Those-
listen in chat. Finished that, went off to a different topic immediately.
So what about this Area 51 storm thing? You see the crowds
Oh my
that
god, is
gathered?
that tomorrow?
No, it happened today.
No,
like,
it's the 21st of that.
No, they're there today.
Did
and-
anyone get aliens? Has anyone clapped any alien cheeks? That's the question.
If you went to Area 51 and clapped alien cheeks, let us know. In chat.
Here's the thing: people are outside of Area 51, and if they really breach it, boom, headshot.
I don't know, I'm just confused. Like, do people
they-
actually show up to this?
There was 2 Dutch people I think it was Dutch YouTubers last week that tried that actually tried it, or this week maybe, tried to get in, got arrested, they're in trouble. So all the folks that are out there, if you don't know what a A10 Warthog is, Google it before you try to rush Area 51 because it's gonna be the last thing you hear is everyone around you is being blown to bits because don't storm an American military
I'm
base.
just
We
gonna
talked
say
about
they're not
this.
going to use a warthog in this situation.
I mean, they might.
No, they wouldn't.
Will they use alien ray guns?
No, why would they use a warthog? That's that's a tank line destroyer. That uses a 38 millimeter cannon,
Listen.
Vulcan cannon on the front. What are you talking about?
You haven't paid much attention to the war in the Middle East. You know, we use the A10
confused.
everywhere.
Yeah, the A10 is used, but it's usually for breaching. things
Nope,
like tank
nope,
lines.
no. If there's a
or
group of
serious
people,
things.
if there's a group of people out there and you're
mean, they'll
stuck
take
in,
out
and you need
buildings.
cover, I need cover. I need a warthog.
Okay.
You got a platoon of people piled in, or not a platoon, a squad.
But they have
piled in.
Apaches.
You call it.
They
yeah,
have,
but
they
that's
have
not
like
the same
real
thing.
things that don't need to move in direction.
okay,
These
so,
people aren't coming out there
listen.
with rocket launchers. They don't need to worry about hovering a fucking small pod Vulcan turreted piece of shit low fucking
How many
helicopter out
fucking
there to
video
shoot people down.
games were you educated by for the war? This is
Oh
how
my
it
God! Hold on,
works.
wait a minute. The reason they don't use helicopters in most of the situations, they use things like a Warthog, is because it's harder to lock onto when it moves.
No, it's because it's a longer gain of oil and has a much bigger fucking payload. Are you serious?
Yeah, it carries a heavier payload, but you could use a helicopter and you could do the same
And
fucking thing.
the
It's a lot
helicopter
easier.
has about half the flight time, if that, as an A-10 Warthog.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to go far. It's literally just going above a base and staying there for 5 seconds, dropping down, fucking loading.
no one's
going back.
scared
You're gonna launch a
about
fucking
Apache
Warthog down an
helicopters.
entire airline, and it's gonna have to go up. It's gonna have to come back around, and then it's gonna have to land again. And it's just a fucking headache.
This is like a weird James Bond kind of sag in my mind where I'm trying to talk to somebody about helicopters versus an A-10 Warthog. Look, there's no comparing factor.
Okay.
Use an Apache if you're coming in and Rambo is on the ground, and this is the newest technology, where a Warthog is the beast.
The
And it just
Warthog
does
is
its job.
absolutely a beast.
And
It
it's
is
still a
better, 10
fucking
times better
beast.
than a fucking Apache. But at the same time, it just makes more sense to use the Apache.
No, it doesn't. Why would it make sense? If you want to kill 2 people, use an Apache. If you want to
What are
kill
you talking about?
1,000 people, use a fucking Warthog.
Apaches. Just trust me on this one when I say an Apache will do far
Why?
more damage than a Warthog.
No, you're wrong.
In this situation, an Apache would do more damage.
Oh, for the Area 51?
Yeah.
Why? Because it dehumanized the 5 people it hit?
What are you talking about?
The Warthog's going to wipe the
They
entire
have
group
rocket
out.
pods on top of having like multiple turrets on them.
Okay, so if you're in the military, the American military, and you want to let us know who's wrong about the difference between A-10 Warthog and an Apache, please let us know. If you were going to strike against people trying to storm an American military base, i.e. Area 51, what would you choose to use, an Apache or a Warthog?
The Apache.
Why?
Well, it's very simple. The Apache literally has to take off, hover about 100 feet in the air, shoot a bunch of people, drop back down, reload its payload, go back up, shoot a bunch of people, drop down, reload payload, go back up.
Payload? What are
Whereas
you talking
literally
about?
a Warthog will have to take off from an airstrip, land on that airstrip after doing a single strafing run, and it'll do one strafing run. It won't do a bunch. It'll do 1 to 2 strafing. No, it'll do like
No,
I think it does like
again,
3 or 4.
video game is not good for you.
I don't know how many it can carry in one run. I actually
Look,
I'm
the
not
one thing
I'm
about the
not an expert
Apache
on this,
is it can
but-
hover because it's a helicopter and it can fire down. Do you think that the 50 cals they have on the Apache are as damaging as what they have on the Warthog?
Yeah, because it has a rocket pod payload.
What do you think the Warthog has?
It has a much bigger payload.
I'm just confused as to what you
I'm
think.
just saying,
I
in
don't
this
know
situation,
what they're shooting. I'm just
with
saying I would
time
go with
and,
Warthog.
and having to clear out a large group of people, it would be more beneficial to use the
Here's the
smaller
thing.
payloads.
If I was the alien in Area 51 right now and these people are trying to Naruto run past me, I would hope to God they'd call the fucking Apaches out.
Naruto.
Apache helicopters, by the way. Doritos?
Naruto. Thank you.
The chips? The chip runners out
Naruto.
instead of the Warthogs, because the Warthogs are going to fuck shit up for real. Dent the ground, dent 40 people at one time with one round, do some damage. And it's not like we're going to send one. Who sends one Warthog?
Well, no one's gonna send one Apache. They're gonna send like 20.
Yeah, they have to, because the Apache's gonna be there, like mowing your lawn with a, like you're trying to weed eat your entire
And then
yard.
there's Blackhawks with
I have no idea, guys. I don't
turrets
really
on the
know.
side.
And Jack doesn't know. So correct us if we're wrong,
know
because
some
we're
things.
definitely wrong.
Probably
But
wrong.
give us that information. That said, hey, don't forget to keep following the show, because
Yes. We'll talk about
yeah,
something one
global
day.
warming's a myth. Blah blah blah. It's not a myth. Climate change. We're all supposed to be dead fucking 15 years ago. But in 11 years, we're gonna die for sure, guys.
Well, you know what it is? It's literally the reason they put like these absurd dates, these random dates like 20 years from now is because they're just trying to raise money for certain
It's a
things.
religion.
Well, no, it's they're trying to raise money.
No,
for
it's a
things.
religion.
And so they get people freaking out for something that's close but not too far away. But
Look.
when, no one will remember it by the time it actually was supposed to have happened.
But fucking, I remember the little stuff was supposed to happen. Al Gore told me I'd be dead already fucking twice now.
Yeah, except for people are fucking stupid and people are lemmings. They'll always do the same
Short
thing they
memory.
weren't supposed to do.
Listen, guys, look, take care of the planet, take care of the environment, absolutely. Absolutely take care of the environment and the planet. Do what you can to reduce pollution. It's important. If you get rid of fossil fuels, if you really want to do that, you're literally sentencing millions of people to death.
I mean, there's if you can
Literally,
replace it.
literally, no.
If you can
if
find
were to
something that
by
replaces it.
2030, look at the date, 2030. If you get rid of fossil fuels, you're sentencing millions of people or more to death.
Why? What if they have
Period.
something that replaces it?
Well, no, that's what are they going to replace it
How
with?
is that impossible?
Like what?
We invent things every year. We invent
Okay,
something
yeah,
that's
if
more
you come up
powerful
with
than the thing last
fucking-
year.
What's the thing about fusion? That thing? You gonna come up with a good fusion that just keeps going and going and going?
Well, I mean, theoretically, they could do it. If someone
So
really,
you're
like,
going to
buckles
find a
down.
way to get all this stuff going. Look, I heard a lot of complaints and a lot of blaming your parents for shit and not a lot of actual ideas to make it work.
I mean, I think that's the biggest problem is that people are like, we're going to do this. And then you look at me and say, okay, well, how do we fix it? That's why I always tell people whenever...
Well, we're going to get rid of this stuff. Okay, so we're going to fall back into the dark ages. It's going to work really well, kids.
Not to drag this into a political spectrum.
No,
but
we're there
I was,
now. Fuck
I
it.
was,
You
I was
know
talking
what?
to someone
It's on.
about... I was talking to someone about fascism. And he was telling me all about how Hitler was a fascist. And I stopped and said Hitler wasn't a fascist.
He wasn't a fascist. He was
And
a
he's
nationalist.
like, he was a fascist. And they said it in history. I'm like, no, he was a National Socialist. The fascist was Mussolini. I'm like, there are two different stands of political powers that were in that area. There was fascism. There was a National Socialist who was, it was closer to an oligarchy than really a socialism, because the people don't realize is that socialism and capitalism are financial structures, people. Those are not government structures. Communism and fucking, what is it? What is ours? A republic? A democratic republic? No. Those are a political system. That is political system.
Negative.
Yeah, socialism is not a political system. It is a financial system.
Okay, so first of all, communism and socialism are the exact same thing, period.
No, they are not the same thing.
They are.
Socialism is
One
to
has-
communism.
Listen.
What capitalism is to
Okay,
being a republic.
Keep talking. Do you want to go march for the environment today? Or do you want to listen?
No, fuck the environment. It's going to kill me before I kill it.
Fuck. It's going to kill all of us before we kill it. That's the craziest fucking part of this entire thing.
It
Like,
invents new diseases every day to kill us. What?
one person was chanting, "You're going to die of old age. I'm going to die of global warming." Fuck, no, you aren't. If you're going to die by a 2-degree raise, if the calculations are correct, in the next 150 years, no, then you're living forever.
You know what's funny?
Fucking stupid as shit. What are we teaching kids in school these days?
Well, 10 years ago we were gonna have hovering cars, so
No, fuck that. You know what? Like, I was like 10 years old, and I heard the ozone layer is going to be gone, and we're all fucked in 5 years, maybe 10 years. We have the same carbon in the air, same emissions in 1984 as we have now.
You know
No
what's
one
gonna
wants to
kill us?
celebrate what we're doing. We just want to make it a religion. That's what it is.
You know what's going to kill
Fuck
us?
that.
This actually kind of pisses me off when they talk about
We're
global
gonna lose
warming.
all of our followers now because people are gonna be like, these fucking guys.
Yeah, fucking cares.
anyway, so the thing that bothers me is actually
Who cares?
it's-
I'm welding now.
It's this GMO thing.
Christ.
Like, people, they talk about GMOs. What bothers me about that is literally everyone's talking about, we have to feed the planet. Well, they're trying to invent something currently that could feed the planet, and you're currently telling them to fucking stop. Yes, no, we should keep growing. You know what that does? We're currently cutting down the Amazon. You know why? Because we need more room to feed all you motherfuckers.
We're not actually
Deeply
cutting down the
apologetic.
Amazon.
But that's the problem is while they're trying to invent something that will stop having to cut down rainforest, stop having to have massive farm areas so that you can make small buildings that could produce
What
more
the
than enough
fuck
food.
are you talking about?
Under GMOs, genetically modified organisms, crops that could grow within days versus weeks or months that have to use large
No,
fields.
most of us supposed to grow shit in places where crops don't survive.
Yeah,
Like
but
Africa.
the thing is, it's also
and parts
supposed to
of-
help.
Not all of Africa, guys. Parts of Africa.
But the thing is it's supposed to help lower the necessity for large areas of crops. They grow faster, things like that. This is what they're trying to modify. They're trying to create. Meanwhile, people are telling them to stop fucking doing it. And it's like, dude, do you want to save the fucking rainforest? Do you want to stop farming everywhere? Do you want to stop these mass things? Or do you want a renewable fucking food source?
Here's the biggest problem with where we're at. The loudest voices come from the most ignorant fucking people.
Well, of course,
Period.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance.
And it makes you
is-
shout.
We had a bunch of
like
kids
me.
leave school today, thankfully, because get the fuck out of school. Your teachers are brainwashing you, obviously. And go on a climate change fucking rampage. We're striking because our parents are killing the earth. Fuck off, you fucking 12-year-old. Grow a fucking brain and read a
hold on,
goddamn
hold on,
book.
hold on.
How
Don't
fucking
hold
stupid
on.
are you?
Don't blame the kids. It's
No,
literally
fuck
just
that.
no, because you're blaming innocent morons who have no knowledge of anything, and you're not blaming who's
innocent
actually the
morons.
problem.
Their parents and the
because
schools.
when teachers tell them to do what they're supposed to do, that's when this is performed. It's
Oh
the
yeah,
problem
it's
with the
weird.
teacher.
The school system suddenly says, "Well, we're going to excuse their absences, quote unquote." Oh yeah, of course you are, because it
course
doesn't
we
fit
are.
what you want to say because you're going to do this.
We're gonna
Who the fuck?
excuse it.
But now the teachers, the same teachers, will be like, "Well, hold on, we don't want to work an extra Monday because we need to negotiate our contracts."
That's probably part of it.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe
part of it.
people are fucking liars and full of shit.
I mean,
look, it's not bad to take care of the planet. It's absolutely not bad to not pollute. It's great to recycle. It's great to do these things. Absolutely.
Oh, no, yeah.
Care for what you like. If you hunt, guess what? You're hunting, you buy a hunter's license to keep populations of things keeping going. It's like the people that give shit to the lion hunters in Africa. Well, they killed the lion. You know how much money that one lion, how many lion lives that one fucking lion saved? Thousands.
Well, not to mention the revenue that the place that allows them
Yeah,
to sell
to keep them safe from poachers and shit.
I mean,
are you fucking kidding me? How
it's-
ignorant and stupid are we in America?
Well, it's
We
not
are the
just-
dumbest fucking people in the world. Sorry. Hashtag love America.
I imagine
Good
that the
God, we're raising our
that-
kids to be retarded.
when they go to hunt a lion on top of that, it's probably
It's
cost a shit
ridiculous.
ton of money, and so they probably give it to them, and then the organizations that actually
Well, it
protect
doesn't cost
these-
a shit ton of money
get
to
that
us
money.
because our
Well, no, but I'm
currency
saying that
broadband
the
or
organizations
changed
that
up, but
then protect the same things get that money from the hunting to keep down their fucking because they
that's what they do. They hire
keeps
people
down
to
the fucking
keep
limits,
yeah,
right?
keep the poachers out.
we have these things that are cyclical that people don't understand, that they come in, they're like, they have no fucking idea of what they say, they have no idea of the situation. Like, I don't either, but the thing is at least I'm not like saying, hey, you need
Okay.
to stop stuff because I don't
To
understand
not
it.
be angry, here's a real easy litmus test. If you feel like you are a taxpayer, if you feel like you pay taxes,
I definitely pay fucking taxes.
so here's what most people don't get. I'm going to say as calm as I can. If you feel like if you're in America and you pay taxes and you have a right to gripe, I want you to wait till your next tax return. Do your taxes. End of this fiscal year, it's coming up. And do your taxes and see what you get back versus what you paid in. If what you paid in is less than what you got back, you're not a goddamn fucking taxpayer. So shut the fuck up. You're not paying taxes on shit. I'm an actual taxpayer. It's fucking irritating. Sorry.
I mean,
I went somewhere dark there.
It's
Look, ignorance is a big thing, guys. You have to be more educated than this. Open your mind and focus on what will better yourself as a person, not on the other bullshit you hear around you. Try to think about what's actually going to make you more intelligent. And I was raised as a Democrat liberal. You know how hard that was for me
So was
when
I.
I grew up and realized, oh shit, I actually had to pay taxes? That fucking sucked. I thought everything was supposed to be free.
well, here's the thing.
Fuck, it's free now. Oh, and global warming, it's going to kill all of us. Fucking 25 years ago, we're all dead. We died 25 years ago, according to climate change. Same science. It's settled science. If anything is, quote, settled science, it's actually the antithesis of what science is.
Yeah, science is always
supposed to
fluctuating,
be open.
constantly fluctuating. There's
Anyway.
no locked position. That's why they're still to this day still question things they thought they knew 50 years ago.
Fucking, except for climate change.
That's
'cause
why
it's a
idiots can still
political
say the
and
Earth is
religious
flat.
belief. Oh, God, those guys are even better than climate change believers. Look, the Earth is going to climate change. The climate's going to change. The Earth does this. It does a thing.
It's a
where the
living.
climate
It's a
moves.
living object. It's a
Yeah,
living thing.
Well, it's an object full of life. So, yes,
yeah,
it's going to fluctuate and
always
change.
changing.
If you think you can change it, here's my challenge to you. If you believe that you as a human are going to affect what the Earth's climate is going to do, I want you to spend 1 year fixing the environment, live stream it, or you just record it and send it to me, and tell me everything that changed while you were doing it. Because the same carbon in the air now has been there since 1984. It's the same amount of carbon, and we're still here.
Well,
Hold on. We don't even talk about ozone holes anymore. You're too young to remember that. But
I
the
remember
holes in
ozone
the
holes.
ozone layers, holy crap, there are about 50 people that must have fried to death yesterday from the ozone layer hole. Actually, there must have been tens of thousands. China's gone already, according to climate change. The guy that started the Weather Channel, who's a scientist, he said it's bullshit. Maybe you guys should listen outside of Bill Nye.
They've got Bill Nye, the engineering student, to tell them what's
student
going
guy.
on.
The guy who wears.
You know.
I'm gonna start wearing a lab coat on this show so people take me seriously.
I also have a lab coat.
I also have a lab coat. I also rub my nipples in it.
No, I mean,
are you serious? Like, guys,
Bill Nye
the
teaches
same people
how to
that
make
believe
fucking
in climate
potato
change don't believe in ghosts, maybe, or what's the common denominator? There has to be something. There's a common denominator. It's like the alien people versus the ghost people versus the cryptid people. There has to be something. Oh, do they all agree the climate's going to kill us because we're killing the climate? I'm so confused by this entire thing. It's a load of horseshit.
It's simple. It's all really just it's relevant.
The climate's going to change.
Here's the thing. At this very moment, there is nothing in the media to bitch about. At this moment.
No, there's everything in the media.
They have a toolbox. On one half of the political spectrum, they have a toolbox. And this toolbox opens up whenever there's not enough that's being created from someone else. And they pull out one of their random tools, and they place it in the media, and then they get the tools that exist out in the public to run around like the tools they are. And that is how this works. Is because when there's nothing to talk about, they will pull out one of their random topics, and then people will go crazy for that random topic. Just like people will go crazy to go to Area fucking 51.
Guys.
Okay? If you need any greater proof, then look at Area 50. A fucking military base, people. Even if you're not storming it, can you imagine how on edge those fucking soldiers are right now? If anybody is stupid enough to cross that fucking line...
What kind of energy are they helping us to stop the...
I'm not done yet. Can you imagine how seriously fucking ticked off those military men are, and the fact that there could be any amount of stupid people that are going to do this, and how on edge they are at this moment? And then they're going to fucking have one dumbass cross a fucking line, and a soldier who is just doing his daily job is going to trip out and not realize what he's doing, and he is going to automatically respond thinking that something serious has happened, and he's going to open fire. And that guy is going to lose his life to the fucking media because a dumbass decided to make a joke. And a bunch of idiots who, by the way, you out there in this world, I love all of you, but you are a lemming like everyone else, just like me. You will always do what you're told, and you will always have one pattern that you will follow. And I hate to break this to you, left or right, but you are always going to follow a set fucking pattern. You are always going to go back to that store you said you will not go back to. You will always buy those things that you said you wouldn't buy, and you will always continue, because that is what we've been raised to do in this society. We have been raised to purchase, to become one thing, and we will always do that. That is why we fight left and right, because they have taught us to fight left and right, and they have taught us to say that the right is a bunch of conspiracy theorist nut jobs, and the left is a bunch of assholes. No, I was just.
You are very, very.
I think I did that in reverse, though.
You might have been a little bit aggressive there with that whole.
My point is,
you can't. There's no hope. No hope.
It's not that there's no hope. It's that people need to realize.
You're a harbinger of doom.
It's not that. It's that people need to realize that we all have set things inside of our heads. We all have wants. We all have needs. And the thing is as a group, we're morons. And that's why Area 51 happened. And that's why global warming is talked about in such serious matters. Is because as a group, we want to be accepted. So we find a group and we latch on
hold
to
on.
it.
It's not global warming anymore. It's climate change.
Yeah, okay, well, climate change. They changed the goalpost on us on purpose because they need to, as soon as they refresh the name, it's a change. It's a different thing. And then people's minds
if you're dumb enough to feed into it, then it's your own damn fault. But they're doing it with the kids. The teachers are getting in the schools and they're fucking making
Of course they are.
It's a brainwashing spectrum.
It always has.
They don't teach real history anymore. Like one of the quotes that I heard today that stood out to me was the girl's like yelling and screaming about what her parents did to her and the climate, and she's like, "Well, we're learning about this future we're not going to have." Like, what the fuck are you learning about future for?
You want to know
what about your fucking history? Like, shut the fuck up and go home.
You know what I want to
say? Go back to school or go somewhere else.
I really like that.
Fucking ridiculous.
That's a beautiful thing when you get kids saying my parents did that, because there was once upon a time a certain person that this entire group that actually follows this talks about all the time, saying that other people are these people that would send them to these special camps where they would then be told to rat on their parents and disrespect them and treat them like shit. And I can't remember who this guy is, but they really love him on that side of the board. And to blame and accuse other people of being that. You know why? Because Winston Churchill, a genius of a man, once said that your future Nazis will come out as your anti-Nazis.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it's working, and that's exactly how it's playing out.
It's weird being called a Nazi and a fascist when I'm all about free speech and people are trying to shut me up.
Yeah, you know what? It's beautiful when you talk about when you have someone who tells you you're a Nazi because you think you should be allowed to own a gun. By the way, Nazis hated people owning guns. You should be allowed to say whatever you want.
Well, they didn't
By the
hate
way,
them, they disarmed them
Nazis
on purpose.
particularly hated people who said whatever they wanted.
So did Saddam Hussein.
Your kids shouldn't be raised by you, but society. Guess who else loved that fucking statement? Guess who else loved that statement?
Well, Google it. Figure it out.
You shouldn't teach your kids these things. You shouldn't be allowed to choose what your kids learn. They need to be taught by these teachers. They need to be taught in
takes a
schools.
village.
It takes a village.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well, guess who else thought it took a fucking village? Welcome to the party, pal. Okay, if you think at this point you're on the right side of history and you think any of these things that I'm saying are wrong, then you're an idiot and you don't know anything about fucking history.
Well, you're not an idiot. You've been miseducated.
You're an idiot.
No,
Because at this point in
emotion.
time in your
First of all,
life,
we're
if you
emotional
don't
people.
realize how this works,
As you can show from what Jack is saying, we're an emotional people as humans. Psychologically, we have to think and break it down. The reason a lot of us don't get road rage is because we see something that's terribly wrong, and we go, "Okay,
I
what are
get
the
road rage like a
consequences?"
motherfucker.
Yeah, but we go, "Okay, what are the consequences?"
Oh, I
I'm
always throw
mad,
that out, yeah.
but would I carry out this quote justice? Is this justice for me or justice overall? So what we do is we break it down and say, "Okay, where does the justice need to come from? And a big problem is, like, unfortunately, fucking in
Kosovo.
man, Kosovo. What?
I don't know. I just thought of Kosovo real quick.
Now look, appeasement is an injustice. It allows evil to continue. The idea that this idiot running California right now, oh, we're gonna do gun control, blah blah blah, and this Beto O'Rourke guy, we're gonna take your guns. Okay, cool. How about you start a trial period where you take the criminals' guns first? Let me know how that works out for you, but go for it full bash like you would for the non-felonious criminal part of society. Look, there's a fine line between, hey, we're totally stupid, and hey, we're really passionate. The problem is, when you're super passionate, you can be super intelligent and lose all structure on your domain of your mind. When you get super uptight about something, when something is so important to you, you tend to lash out and strike back or strike forward. And with this environmental thing going on, these are kids in their most emotional state, a young age. They're being targeted. Let's be real here. This is a conspiracy.
They're being groomed.
They're being targeted and groomed by schools, by teachers, who are the same fucking weird people. And they're being told and taught to do this in a fucking straight up way. This is the most ridiculous and most heinous thing that's happened. These teachers are basically Jared from fucking Subway. And fuck you, teachers, if you're going to do this. If I found out my kids walked out of school for a climate change march, I would sue the school and ad nauseum. I would spend all of my money to sue the school for letting that happen.
The fact that
And also my kids wouldn't have any more social media or any more bullshit around them. And they
This
wouldn't be
is-
allowed to talk to their friends because their friends are retarded if that's a thing they're going to push them into.
if at
It's
any point in
hive
time
mentality.
a teacher has
It's
said that
garbage.
they deserve more money, and then at the same time has said something political in the middle of a class, you're an idiot.
No.
I had a teacher who was political, and they hated George Bush. And the thing is
All my teachers did, and it was fucking
and
garbage.
here's the thing. I had political teachers that hated George Bush and hated all these things that were going on, and they would say stuff in the middle of class, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, as an adult now, I think to myself, what right did they fucking have to bring their
They
personal
don't. It's
political
actually
opinions to my
illegal. It's
school?
illegal for them to do
Like,
that.
You're
It's
my
against the
English
fucking
teacher.
law.
You're my English teacher. You're not my fucking political science
They
teacher.
should be disbarred as a teacher and sent to fucking
I don't need
the homeless camp. I don't fucking know. This is stupid. You don't fucking indoctrinate kids. You're a child fucking predator if that's what you're doing. Like, I had an issue like during the last election cycle, or the one before that, during the presidential election. I'm not a huge Trump fan. Not gonna lie, not a huge Trumpo.
It's kind of a cunt somewhat.
Not a huge fan. It's still not Hitlery. So what happened is
Now you're getting
my
cunt or
kid and her
Hitler.
friends
One or the
of
other.
different upbringings and skin colors and blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares? A pluribus unum. She's having a conversation, and the teacher's aide or whatever she is, the monitor walks up and says, "Oh, Trump's murdered people." That was her comment. So I went to the principal. I'm like, "Hey, so Hillary has actually had people murdered for real." Like, for real. No one can argue that at this point.
I mean,
and Trump is just a
how many people
guy
need
that
to
most
commit
people
suicide?
like because they watch The Apprentice. Who the fuck cares? Like, this is the dumbest thing. There was like a weird fissure there because I don't know. How dumb are people? How fucking dumb are you? How self convinced are you in your emotions that you can't take a break for a second? I worked as a bar bouncer and a cooler and a bartender for a long time. And one thing I learned is you got to keep your shit together. I lost my shit a couple of times, but I was reeled it back real fast. But are you guys all drinking like vodka tonics all day fucking long to raise your kids to think that global warming is going to murder them? Like, with the kids that went to these protests, are they going to go home to their parents and murder them? That seems like the most logical answer. So if you're a kid that went to this protest, you should probably try to stab your fucking parent in the face because they fucking raised you that way. That's the only logical answer the teachers are giving you. Like, realistically. It also, I don't actually mean that, but logic is involved here.
well, I mean,
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. The Earth is going to kill all of us in the end, or a meteor, or fucking us. But we're not going to kill the planet.
yeah, we do not outlive
This
the
planet's
planet,
gonna
that's for sure.
look at the old cultures of the world. The places have been washed over with time and sediment and
Fucking look
corrosion.
at fucking was it? Look at Chernobyl for
No,
God's
fuck that.
sake.
Look at Göbekli Tepe, like what we think is the first place humans like formed together as a society. It got washed over. It's near Turkey. Like it grew up and it did a thing. The nature. Look at South America.
No, I mean literally. Look at Chernobyl. It's less than what 60, like 80, 60, 70 years ago, something like that, and it's a nuclear disaster. And that place is starting to heal slowly by itself without us being involved. And
I
that's
mean-
still burning to this day. It's not even a dead cell. It is a living nuclear cell that is still being overrun by nature. slowly.
Here's a huge fucking problem. People forget that humans are part of the natural order of this planet. We're here naturally.
We've left the cycle somewhat.
No, we're here naturally. There's no left to cycle. We're here naturally. We're from this planet. We're part of this entire fucking spiel of Earth.
Well-
how hard is that to figure out? Yeah, if you believe, okay, well, life wasn't created, blah, 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 and we just showed up here. We'll explain pigs and cows and fish and
Squid are the only thing that
fucking
aren't real,
birds.
as far as we can tell.
Octopi.
Octopi?
Octopus.
Octopi.
It's octopus. The plural for
Octopus
octopus
are
is
the ones we do-
octopus.
we do not
Look,
have any.
even then, we still share relative DNA. We still share relative features. That's the problem. We're part of this natural fucking world. We're part of the Earth.
Well,
And what we do is natural. Sorry to break it to you, but what we do is natural. And the Earth will eventually either coalesce us or move us off or cover us up and eradicate us. That's how it works.
I mean, it does it every year. But
Think about it. Think about what I just said, though. Take a deep breath and think about what I just said. Because a lot of people have a real hard time with this. That we're actually we're a natural part of this planet. Humans. We're a natural part of this planet. We're related to almost everything here.
I don't know. That's true.
How do you figure?
We could be alien.
So is everything else. So what cares then? What does it matter then? Because fucking the other aliens are populating other planets. How is that a moral guideline for
It's
reality?
not a moral guideline. It's like anything. I was talking to someone.
How is that a relevant guideline?
There's
for
someone
reality?
I know. They're young, they're naive, and they told me that what was it? That police aren't natural, and that we aren't part of the natural order, and things like that. And I looked at them for a second and said, "Okay, so you want everything to be kind of natural?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what's natural. I am bigger and I am stronger than you, and I currently want your money."
And then you butt fucked him?
No, but I just I made a statement.
Well,
flat.
he clearly gave you the opportunity.
I made the flat statement is people
Sounds more like
talk
a
about
pickup
what's
line.
natural and what's not natural. Well, I'm going to explain something to you very quickly. If we lose police and there is no police force, I am going to hold on. If things become natural, I am going to rob you. I am going to take your things, and you're not going to be able to stop me because you'll have no guns. And there's no one who's going to stop me because there'll be no one to stop me.
See, look, it's beyond
And no
that.
threat
That's-
that I'm worried about.
That's a very simplified part of what I'm
I
saying.
will simplify it exactly. I will cave
No,
in
I,
your ass and
I
take
know.
your things. That
Sometimes
is
talking to
just
dumb
simple
people,
what I
the
will do.
simplest way to do it is by simplifying what you're saying. I'm trying to be more like, trying to expound more on the idea and the principle, the fact that we're actually part of this fucking planet. We're supposed to be here naturally. It's a fact. We're here. We're part of it. What we do is a natural part of how the order of things work on Earth. Period. If you want to make any more bullshit about it, then do it. If you don't want to have a guiding fucking moral factor, you don't want to believe in a god or a good sense of whatever. You want to say, oh, it's all about Darwinism and whatnot. Well, then fucking bring it on, bitch.
Well, hold on.
Because we have this. And
There's-
smog all over the place. Let China do what they want because they have done nothing for the, quote, global warming crisis. Well, America has cut down a ton of jobs and a ton of shit. So China can just do what China wants to fucking do, which is in China and India, the most polluted places in the entire fucking world, hard and fast. It's
Well-
like, okay, so here's China as a pollutant. For those of you not watching and listening to the podcast, my hand's up really high. I'm going to take my index finger and the other hand up. So here's China. Here's all the people in America working hard to make stuff not go to shit. So China's still pumping their ass up there while going to the UN and being like, oh, well, America needs to join us on the climate change format. Yeah. Fuck you.
China hasn't even tried to start.
No, they don't fucking try shit.
They don't care.
What they do is forced abortions and forced murder and all sorts of other shit that doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
It's
That's neither here
it's
nor
just a
there. I
fucking
mean-
like you're not free in China, you're free here in America.
you're not free here
You're
either.
almost free here.
Not quite. Kind
Well, they're trying to get rid of it.
of free. Not
Folks
really.
are trying to get rid of the freedom.
I mean, semi-free.
Get rid of the freedom.
As free as you can.
That's
I
what
mean,
you
I guess
wanna
as
do.
free as you can't be anywhere in the world, honestly.
Here's what we should do. We
Unless
should
you're
all
a
just
place that
lay
doesn't have a
down.
nation.
We should all just lay down and not eat or breathe or drink water for about 30 days. The entire world. We should do that. You know why? Because it will totally fix global warming.
It would.
It would totally do not a goddamn fucking thing, because if you had education, you'd know anything about that.
Well,
The climate changes. The Earth moves around the sun, the moon, fucking the moon moves around the sun, the Earth and shit, and fucking I don't even know. I'm tired. I'm so pissed off. I can't even talk anymore. These fucking. When it comes to hurting kids, I'm pissed, and these people are fucking hurting kids, getting them out in the streets with microphones and cameras in front of them. We need climate change and stuff. We need to get rid of natural gases, and we need to get rid of fucking carbon emissions. Fuck, you know what happened if you get rid of carbon emission? All the trees would fucking die. How do you get oxygen? Nobody? Anybody?
easy enough.
Well, the trees
Well, no, I mean,
take the carbon in,
it's actually really
carbon
simple.
dioxide in,
No, I mean,
and they make
if you literally know anything
oxygen.
about Earth science, then you'd know that volcanoes
basic fucking.
produce more CO2
Oh,
for those
yeah,
trees
no.
than anything else.
When Mount St. Helens popped, it popped more CO2 than everything else.
on top of radiation.
Yeah, and radiation. Look, carbon dioxide is a fucking chiller. It cools things down.
Both radiation and carbon monoxide are natural.
Oh,
for
but
the
we'll
Earth,
get a bunch
you
of
know,
wind
so
turbines and solar panels
They
because,
kill
you
like
know,
a fucking entire species of bird.
that was actually an endangered species of bird they thought was extinct in Scotland. That actually became extinct because of the wind turbines in Scotland. That works really, really well.
You know the thing that is.
Anyway,
that is-
we got dark. We should probably go because laser tag's supposed to be happening here in a minute. All right, we gotta play grown-up laser tag.
I'm actually just going home.
Oh, that's fucked up,
Play
Jack.
grown-up Call of Duty and relax.
Hate speech.
Namaste.
Hate speech. Wait, no, you must stay. Yes.
Namaste.
No, you must stay.
Namaste.
Play
yeah,
laser tag.
motherfucker. Anyway, so
Wow. Can
sorry,
you not
I don't
like
know why I did that.
gesticulate so much
I mean,
on the desk?
You know what? What gets me is I don't give a shit if you're left, if you're right. I don't give a shit what you believe. I think if you,
I mean, I'm ambidextrous. Does that help?
I think honestly, it's everybody should just get the fuck out of other people's business, and you're not
Yeah.
going to kill you. Like you could literally we could let 6 different reactors go up like Chernobyl and just keep pumping that shit in the air, and guess what's going to happen? Nothing.
Well, nothing got pumped into the air.
Nothing. Doesn't matter. Even if it did pump that shit in the air, nothing's going to happen. You know why? Because it's something that's already evolved naturally from the Earth itself. There's radiation that comes out of the Earth that's more than that. Why do you think science people died? There's literally we find that shit in the fucking Earth. Like we create plutonium, but fucking.
Well, the sands of Egypt have so much
what creates plutonium
radiation.
again? There's 2 things that come together.
Uranium.
Uranium and fucking I can't remember the other.
You're
one.
the welder, not me.
I don't know these metals. They don't teach us about fucking plutonium. Okay.
No, that's fucked
It's
up.
uranium and what's the other one? There's 2 of them.
Iridium.
I can't remember what comes together with uranium, but we use like uranium and something
Volcanium.
else to create plutonium. But plutonium, I don't even think
Built the
produces half.
Blasphodium.
If I recall, plutonium doesn't produce as much radiation as uranium itself. I don't recall 100% though, to be honest.
I don't think it really matters unless you compress it to a...
I'm just saying, if a nuke goes off, we have
Singularity.
this theory half-life that things will last 5,000 years, but I highly doubt that, to be honest.
We'll find
People are-
out.
Well, we have found
Here's
out.
the funny part.
Hold
is,
on, we have found out.
What? Oh, because we've been studying this for 5,000
No,
years?
We
found
have
that
found out. Because they recently started building, they recently rebuilt fucking Nagasaki.
And?
People are living in it,
Yes.
and they're fine.
Yeah.
Just like Hiroshima.
So the half-life thing of all this stuff is based on ideas and not
It's a theory.
actuality
It's
because
not
we
reality,
haven't
it's
been
a theory.
around that long doing this is my point.
It's a theory. They use math to basically determine how long it will work.
Don't worry, guys. In
How long it will
11
last based
years,
on
global
what it
warming
does.
will kill all of us, so it'll be fine.
Statistically speaking,
That's 3 times I've heard that.
I
now in
literally
my
have
life.
no idea what I am talking about.
And I mean,
But
like,
I do enjoy saying some shit.
almost fucking 30 years ago, I heard 11 years ago it was going to kill me. So it always comes around an election cycle,
Oh yeah, these things
or
always
when a
come
new
around.
breed of fucking idiot kids go in.
There's an election cycle coming around, so we're gonna hear more about all these topics, and they're gonna go from mudslinging to this, and then they'll hit mudslinging.
Oh,
at
the
end.
mudslinging will always
The
happen.
mudslinging happens at the end usually, though. They just before the last month, they'll really kick into gear with that. But for now, they're going to start using the political stuff to get your mind on that.
Hey, don't forget, guys.
Then throw the mudslinging.
Don't forget, there's a gun buyback program that Beto O'Rourke's pushing. So make sure you sell your guns back for your own tax dollars because that's going to make sense.
Yes, sell back your
Fucking-
guns that you.
All right, I'm done being
No.
political. It's supposed to be a paranormal show. God damn it. Also, guys, thank you for watching. I'm Jay. This is fucking
The absent-minded Jack.
fucking guy here. All right, guys, we'll be doing actual stuff that's scary next week, aside from global warming and stuff. We'll actually do a show about like monsters and whatnot leading into Halloween. So, thank you for watching. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. And don't forget to check out The Angry Cherry on Mixer if you're watching the Mixer stuff and watch her gaming program. And don't forget to check out Cocaine Bear. If
This
you're
has been
KY the
NPR.
KY. This has not been PR. This will never be NPR. Don't forget to Supernatural Shack at Etsy.com and check them out. They're also on Facebook. So you can get one of these awesome ass shirts with my big foot
Not
stealing
mine.
my beer. If you're watching,
comes from
you'll know.
Walmart.
If not, what?
Mine comes from Walmart.
And we don't do that anymore. So anyway, guys, I'm Jay. This has been.
The absent-minded Jack. I just
We
said
did that twice.
Now you're
So
absent-minded.
so absent-minded.
Scroll down.
No, I'm just forgetful. All right, hold on. We have more. Blah 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 blah. I'm getting a vasectomy because there are too many kids. You know, just doing my part. All right. That's my excuse too for wanting to bang chicks I don't know there in chat. All right. Anyway. Thanks for watching Vanishing Gates. We will see you guys next week, and we will talk about something more creepy. Maybe, what's that one? You can pronounce it
La
better. than me.
Llorona.
La la
La Llorona.
la.
My Llorona.
Oh, like that?
It's La Llorona.
La Riona. What's that?
La Llorona.
La Riona.
La
La.
Llorona.
I think it was La Llorona.
It's La Rona. La Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona. Part of it's silent. I can't remember. It's like the
I
first
can't
L or
remember which part's
something.
silent.
The fuck is silent? I know it's La Llorona.
So give us a brief update about what that is.
Hold on again. Okay. All right.
A brief update as we get more into the season of miracles sweeps.
It's a
month.
really short story.
Oh, is it?
It is. It's actually really short.
Oh. Oh,
Are you
not sexual?
Sure you want me to explain it?
I thought you were getting all
You could
turned on
literally
by
do
it.
all of it in like 10 minutes.
You can't though.
If I start explaining
You're
it,
going to
it's
read
gonna be
all
done.
the encounters and all the stuff like that in 10
Oh,
minutes?
fantastic. La Llorona is the story of a woman who basically drowned her kids.
It's not hot.
No.
Don't drown your kids,
It's
folks.
not hot.
Please don't.
Statistically speaking, it's not.
What do you mean?
There was a poll done. There was a poll done that
Can't
said drowning
talk
your
anymore.
kids is not hot. Just so everybody knows.
Statistically speaking, drowning your children is not attractive. Are you? That's where you went with that?
Yes.
Good
statistically
Lord.
speaking, it's
All right,
not.
guys, we will catch up with you. Don't forget to follow us on Mixer and whatnot. We'll see you later.
You can find me on PlayStation playing Call of Duty.
Oh, but don't do that. 'cause
Under
that's
Jack
a
Temple.
Bad thing.
If you have Xbox and you're a watcher, because I know we have a lot of Xbox losers, and if you're
Winners.
one of the Xbox losers, you can find me and as Jack Temple, and if you do, I'm going to totally own your ass because I have a PlayStation and it's better.
Tara and chat, yes, we did talk about your issue, and we will be doing a show about that.
Fantastic.
I did not show him your issues, but I did tell him about the issue. We were going to be doing a show about nightmares. Anyway, this is Jay. It's been this fucking guy.
I'm going to hell. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
Jack.
Do your thing.
Goodbye, everybody.